So let me give you an example of how much I love my wife. If someone was to give me an opportunity to choose between my wife and the entire planet Earth, my first answer in my head would be my wife. Because my wife is an amazing woman, and she has grown so much that I know that she's aware of what's real, and that she has the absolute best that she can have regarding happiness, joy, love, awareness, reality, whatnot. And the other, in my initial scenario in my head, it was like my wife or one other person. And I would let my wife pass, because the other person, how do I know that they know what's really going on? And I don't want them to be stuck, and I can help them. I would sacrifice my wife for some stranger. But then I began to think about what I was thinking myself, and I'm like, my wife is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. Best. The absolute best. And if I was to sacrifice my wife for the world, and everybody knew all of these women who have been hounding me for years, and women that I have never met will come knocking at my door and try to replace my wife. They're going to try to replace a woman who I sacrificed for the world. And I realized that none of these women that I've ever known would even measure up, in a microcosm way to what my wife is. My wife is the absolute epitome of perfection regarding what it means to be alive and a wonderful, loving woman. Joy, happiness, peace, faith, devotion, honesty, charisma, creativity. I can just go on and on and on. I literally can. And nobody can replace that. No woman on the entire planet can replace my wife. And then I began to think about it. Life exists in other places. So not only would I not sacrifice one person for my wife, I not only wouldn't sacrifice the entire earth. Not only would I not sacrifice my wife for the entire earth, I wouldn't sacrifice my wife for the entire universe. Because not only is my wife the woman that I'm in love with, who's everything that I need, outside of the planet Earth, there's nobody that I know. So there's nobody that's going to give me more than my wife does. So why would I sacrifice my wife for the universe? Really? So my wife means more to me than the entire universe combined. That means you. And I don't get upset. I'm not trying to make you feel bad. I'm just trying to give you an example of how wonderful my wife is and what she means to me. Just something to think about. Peace out.